Welcome back everyone to a brand new episode of PogoBros. My name is ABC and I've got for you today some very special and spicy battles in the Fossil Cup. Yeah, that's right. Apparently Niantic/Scopely thought it'd be such a great idea that we would enjoy the Fossil Cup so much that we needed it twice in the same season. I don't know who's calling the shots over there, but here we are. And for that reason, you're probably seeing more or less the same content on YouTube that you saw the first time around. But I've got some special, fresh, brand new content for you today. Specifically, I'm talking Rank 1, Level 51 Best Buddy, Shadow Legacy, POLIWHIRL. And as the name of the video suggests, these opponents are in for a world of hurt. Anyways, as far as the rest of the team, I kind of just put it together. In fact, I got two teams here for you, kind of figuring out, what works and what doesn't. And I kind of definitely had more success with the barbaracle variant of my team, but the first one has perrsurker and then volt switch fortress holding down the fort. Okay, done. All right, before I embarrass myself further, if you're new to the channel, enjoy the content, please subscribe. It really helps us out. And if you've been here since day one or somewhere along the way, appreciate your support. Leave a like, drop a comment. Let's get into it. Alright, Mawile in the lead, and it is a Fire Fang variant, so this is very good for us, and we probably are coming as a great surprise to them with our ground coverage, not only in the fast move department, but also in the charge move department. So now we're able to soak up that power-up punch, and we actually get a farm down here. Opponent was so kind to not switch out, and now we have energy going into this Quagsire, and we actually get an attack fall right there. This was one of the few that I got throughout these battles here. Scald RNG was not very friendly to me, but anyways, we're about to get this Mud Bomb off now, and we take out the Quagsire straight up, and now they have a Bastiodon on the back. I kind of wish I preserved health on the POLIWHIRL because it eats Bastiodon for lunch, breakfast, and dinner, and midnight snack. But anyways, we're going to shield up the double super effective flamethrower, and we're going straight for this earthquake here. And I think the opponent has checked out, and we're just going to go ahead and Shadow Claw them down for the win. GG's. All right, and now we got Dad in the lead here, and this is actually pretty positive for us because we're able to spam out some meaningful damage with these mud bombs, as they have to get all the way to a dynamic punch to really hurt us. And then we go ahead and make that catch, and it's only an icy win, so now we're in a really good matchup here. Oh, I didn't even realize I had Golisopod here. We didn't even use Forretress yet. My bad. Just realized that now. Anyways, this works out for us because we're able to get to this X-Scissor here and get the second shield from the Ludicolo. And we go ahead and do our little tap out right there, because word on the street is that it helps you not get one turn bring in lag, and I'm definitely all for that because that's, as you've seen from my videos, that's how we're losing a lot of them these days. But anyways, we're going to overfarm significantly and go for this close combat here, taking out the Ludicolo, switching out to clear our debuff, and now the opponent has a G-Fisk in the back, so this is great for us. This is going to do a lot of damage here, so now we're going to go ahead and force the opponent's hand and just let them throw. They go for the rock slide, so we can definitely tank that. And we're going to go ahead and take them out. No bubbles here on this Mud Bomb, and it still takes them out. And now it's just us and the poliwrath, but we are able to get to the Trailblaze because we overfarmed so much against the Ludicolo and get that win. GG's. All right. Gastrodon in the lead. This is very neutral, but this is kind of where you want to see it. Okay, see, now we've got Forretress here, so Golisopod was just for the first two battles, I guess. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and go for this Scald right here. It's going to do a lot of damage. Yep, it gets them down in the red. And then we would have forced a shield here with the Mud Bomb. And we're actually going to shield this up because we want to get this Mud Bomb off. We bank that energy. And now we're going for a very aggressive farm down. Although, knowing that the opponent only has enough energy for the body slam, we allowed them to basically stay in. And they're about one mud shot away from being taken out. And we do get heavy damage on this for ferrothorn. With the earthquake here, most people with Forretress are running Rock Tomb, Sand Tomb, Double Tomb, so that usually will catch them by surprise, and they're going to have to throw energy to take us out here. In fact, a power-up's not going to cut it because we debuff them, and we're able to bank that Rock Tomb now going into our Perrsurker here, and this debuff Thunder doesn't even get us in the yellow yet, so we're looking pretty good here, and they got a Scizor, so Luckily, we have that energy stored because we're going to need it here. We do get the shield with the Trailblaze. That was, I admit, very risky. We would be in bad shape if they did not shield that. But they are so glassy as is that they're going to have to shield anything and everything, and they're definitely going to need to shield this close combat, which they do. But now we have the Scald locked and loaded for the Scizor, and this should be more than enough to take them out. And now they just have the Gastrodon, and we go ahead and farm them down with the Shadow Mud Slaps here. Mud Shots. Okay, alright. Next match, we have the Ferrothorn in the lead. And the way I play this is similar to a Credilli. I basically just throw until they get to their first move, which happens at our 6 Mud Shot. And then if they throw on bad timing, we get an extra Mud Shot. But if they don't, we're able to throw on good timing and then set ourselves up for a good catch with the forretress. The Ferrothorn forretress. You're gonna see a lot of tongue twisters here in the video. I'm gonna try and keep it to a minimum. But anyways, we got this Mud Bomb ready for Dad here, and he's not gonna like it, and he lets it through. And we're gonna go ahead and just go straight into our forretress now, so that way we can go for an aggressive farm down. They only go for an Icy Wind, which would give us even more farm, so they switch out now into the Jellicent, which is fantastic for us because we are doing super effective damage with the Volt Switches, and I'm definitely a fan of Volt Switch in this meta because of the water types here running rampant. I know there's, you know, it's a water, rock, and steel meta, but it's mostly run by waters here and steels as well, so you're going to want that electric type coverage. And now we have energy going into this Ferrothorn here. We're obviously going to throw in good timing. And with the Shadow Mud Bombs, we're threatening shields here and threatening to take them out. So they actually throw energy on us as opposed to going for a farm down, which is fantastic. That's another reason why I like POLIWHIRL in this meta here. And we're just not going to be able to get to a move here to take out the Ferrothorn, and they go and get that win. GG's. Alright, Shadow Ferrothorn in the lead here, so same thing, we're going to throw, and they actually decided to throw in good timing here, so that allows us to get to this move first, and we're throwing in good timing, and then that sets us right up for the catch here, so that's what we do. We're going to catch on a steel type, and the Power Whip comes through, and we have energy now going into this Gastrodon. We'll see if they know about the Trailblaze. Ooh, they did not, and we get that farm down. They can't come back in with the Ferrothorn here because we still have plenty of health. So they go ahead and punch us down with the Shadow Shiny Dad here. So really cool pick here. But unfortunately for them, we have these Mud Bombs ready to go. They do shield it up, maybe expecting a fighting type move perhaps. But they only go for a Power Punch. So we go for the aggressive farm down. And they actually had switched out. They had planned on switching out anyways. We do shield up a Power Whip, which is unfortunate. But at this point, since they threw their Power Whip, I know this isn't going to be the Thunder. And now we're going to go ahead and throw in good timing here, and we're going to go for that kill shot with the Earthquake, taking them out. And then now they have the Poliwrath, and at this point we can go ahead and shield up this move right here because we do not want to take a Scald or a Dynamic Punch. We're just playing it safe, and we go ahead and get that win with the Earthquake. GG's. So forretress going off in that last match. Alright, we have a shiny Steelix now here in the lead, and we're going to go straight for this Scald here, and they shield it up, and we actually get an attack drop right there, which is very good for us. Not that it really matters because they're just going straight Psychic Fangs, but it's always nice to see. And now we're going to go ahead and take this oh, they have Breaking Swipe, so interesting call by the opponent going for a move that doesn't have a guaranteed debuff as opposed to Psychic Fangs, but we're going to take it. And now we're in this mid-game matchup with the Poliwrath, and they're probably wishing we had Bug Bite. And we're going to go ahead and get that farm down on minimal HP. I don't have the best IVs on the forretress, but we still got some bulk. And now we're going for this Earthquake doing massive damage. Although how much it helps, I'm really not sure because we need to go for this move anyways since we're taking super effective fast move damage. But we do take them out, which is always nice. And they got a Lucario in the back, so I don't know how much these two shields will help, especially since they have Power Up Punch, and we're just going to hope that we can outpace to the second Cross Chop here, but I don't know if we can do it since they're boosted. They go ahead and do us a solid by going for a Power Punch here, but it just delayed the inevitable. They farm us down anyways. GG's. Alright, we got Dad in the lead here, the non-Shadow variant, and they come in with a Volt Switch Fortress of their own, so they're definitely reading the room with the meta here. We go ahead and get get a shield first off, and we're going to shield this up, and it's only a sand tomb, which is a bummer. I was anticipating a rock tomb, which would have done pretty serious damage, but now we're going to go for a rock tomb of our own. We're debuffed now thanks to the sand tomb, but they're just going straight sand tomb, which is fine with us. We're going to go ahead and begin the debuffs here with the rock tomb. That does considerable damage, and now we're going to see what they throw here. Yeah, they're just going straight sand tomb. I don't know if they're single moved or if that's just what their game plan is, but that's fine with us. Luckily, we have energy going into this Credilli now. This does about half of their health, which is great, and this is going to force them to throw their energy. We're just going to call a rock tomb. It would probably still take us out anyways, but they go for grass knot, so no big deal right there. And now in this matchup here, it's kind of tricky because we're taking double super effective damage from the bullet seeds, but we're doing super effective damage with our boosted fury cutters, and we kind of get the best of them there, and we've got a grass knot ready to go. And they let it through, so now they're in trouble here because now we can go ahead and pressure this farm down here while debuffing them with the rock tomb, forcing them to throw a move in order to take us out. But at this point, we've done enough damage now to where we can just go ahead and farm them down. We don't even need to throw the cross chop. GG's. All right, Lucario in the lead. This is where you want to see it. So apparently they knew about the ground type coverage because they got the heck out of there, which is, fine with us because, actually that's not fine. I would like them to stay in for a bit. But anyways, we're going to go ahead for this Scald right here. Absolutely crazy that we lose CMP to a Gastrodon, but, that's besides the point here. And we go ahead and shield up the Earth Power, which is really good because that would have done a lot of damage. And now they're just kind of settling for Body Slams at this point because they definitely didn't reach the Earth Power. We're already at 100 energy, so I only threw after one Volt Switch. And they let it through, and that might have cost us, but we can still tank this Body Slam. We're going to go ahead and beg that energy and get an energy lead with the Mud Shot here. And now the opponent is going to have to shield this to keep their Lucario. They decide to do that. And the question now is whether we can get to a cross chop before they get to two moves here. It's going to be tough. They already get to one move right here, and it is the Power Up Punch. I'm pretty sure PB Poke recommends that you have Thunder Punch and Shadow Ball, but every Lucario I've seen had Power Up Punch, which is fine. And they got a Ferrothorn, yikes! So we're going to throw this move right away. We are in trouble here. We're going to go ahead and get to this Rock Tomb here. We switched after throwing one Fury Cutter, so that way the Bullet Seed registers on the forretress here, and that is the whole difference right there because we get to this cross chop, taking out the Ferrothorn with the water and rock type. GG's. All right. See, I'm still getting tripped up with the whole fortress Ferrothorn thing, so bear with me here. And the game lagged right here, causing us to let a whole Hex in, even though we throw on good timing after 7 Mud Shots here. So that's the game. And then we get baited with Surf. So this is just going about as bad as it could possibly go. But we're still going to play through it. Catching the move on the fortress. And the opponent was going to bait again with the Surf. They are crazy for that. But anyways, that's good for us. And now we're going to respect the Shadow Ball. And they do throw that. So we're just going to go straight for this Earthquake now with the Lucario. And they shield it up. I should have known better because Lucario users will just shield about anything. Even if you're a Magikarp and only have Struggle or Splash, they're gonna shield it up anyways. But anyways, we have now our Poliwhirl, and thanks to the energy we stored up against the Jellicent, we're able to outpace to this Mud Bomb, taking them out. And what do they have in the back? We know they have the Jellicent. They're coming back in with it. We're gonna go ahead and force them to throw energy. Yeah, they only made it to a Surf because they had just thrown the Shadow Ball before leaving. And they've got a Registeel, so we are in a dire situation right here. We're getting off this cross chop straight away. Can we outpace the next one? We do get to it, which is amazing for us. Doing massive damage. And it was a CMP tie, which is best case scenario right here. They obviously take us out with the Focus Blast, but can we get to the back-to-back Mud Bombs? Yes! We actually do. So this one will take out the Registeel, and then we've got one ready to go for the Jellicent. Let's go. Boom! GG's. Alright, we overcame the game's lag, and we came out with the win, so let's go. It is possible to beat the algorithm if you believe in that, and we can beat Go Battle Lag as well. We are invincible right now. And in this matchup here, we do shield up the Payback, which would have done massive damage, and now we can go ahead and start getting these debuffs on the Corviknight here. this will do considerable damage, but they go ahead and shield it. I don't know if that was the right play for them, but I definitely don't care. And you see that sky attack didn't even get us in the yellow until after the subsequent sand attack. So now we can go ahead and take this sky attack here, and now they have a Gastrodon, and we're just going to go straight for that nuke here. Do they know about the grass knot? Nope! Taking out the Gastrodon. Scizor comes back in now, but we're not done. We have Cross Chop ready to go, but they decide to throw their energy, which is totally fine because we definitely have a better answer in the Poliwhirl, where we will resist their, I think they're on Fury Cutter, so never mind. But we do have the Earthquake ready to go after the opponent shielded up our Scald, taking them out, and then they have the Corviknight, and they've had enough. GG's. Alright, Credillia in the lead, so as I've said before, we're going to go ahead and just see if they want to throw on bad timing, and they do, so now we can get a free Mud Shot in, and that could go a long way later in the game. And we're going to go ahead and go for a Scald here just to get some chip on there. They're about the halfway point, but the more important thing is that we can catch this move right here. And they actually went for the Grass Knot, which is crazy, so that is double resisted, and we had a Volt Switch go through, so we're looking really good against this Azumarill right here too. So we're going to go ahead and throw on good timing here, get to 100 energy, and we're going to start debuff train here, getting them into the yellow, and they're going to go ahead and go for a move, but odds are they do not have Hydro Pump, and they do not, so now we can overfarm here. We're actually going to bank that energy because now if they get out of this matchup, we have an energy lead on this Credillia here, and they let it through, so we can actually go for this farm down here, and we have a massive energy amount right now. If they come back in with... Okay, so now they have the Ferrothorn here. So they're running double grass, which is disastrous for our team here. But we don't care. We're going to go ahead and throw on good timing here because these Mud Bombs are doing considerable damage to this part Steel type here. And then we get another catch. Surviving with this one. We decided to go for the debuffing move here. We played it safe. We didn't want them to shield up the Earthquake because now that they're debuffed, we're going to come back in with the Poliwhirl, and now we're not in danger of being farmed down, and we go ahead and get that move off. They switch out to clear the debuff, and the opponent decides to throw energy as opposed to taking this next Mud Bomb or shielding it up, which is totally fine with us because we get a resisted farm down, but not before they get to another move. It is the play rough, but we don't care because we can tank that, and now we have all the energy in the world for this Ferrothorn here, and we can go for the double Cross Chop and take them out. And honestly, we could probably even farm them down, but we're just going to go ahead and let them have it here. Opponent has checked out of the hotel early, and we get that win. GG's. All right. We got Dad in the lead again, and we're going to go ahead and, as I've said before, okay, game lagged right there. You see the white Pokeball of Doom in the top left corner, forcing us into a CMP tie that we did not want, but it is fine because even if we CMP tie them, we're not taking any boosted counters afterwards, so I'd rather take that on the forretress here, and the opponent decides to stay in this matchup, which is great for us. The reason why we hard swapped into the forretress is because we force the opponent's hand, either forcing them to stay in a matchup where we are doing super effective fast move damage, or they can clear their debuff, or they can clear their attack boost, so win-win for us. And then they had come in with a Ferrothorn here, so I really wonder what they have in the back, but this is great for us. We do call the Power Whip here, and the opponent can throw as many Power Whips as they want. They're not taking us out, and we've farmed up so much energy right now, and we're going to see what the opponent wants to do. They let it go, and we switch out now so that way we don't give up a nice farm down here. And then we have, again, Credillia versus our Barbaracle here. We do get that shield, and we're definitely going to have to shield this up. They did only go for a Rock Tomb, but we definitely didn't want to risk that. These Fury Cutters are doing so much even when we're debuffed that we definitely don't want to be taken out. And we do get to another Cross Chop, and they let that, oh, actually they have no shields, never mind, but we do get the catch, and they had gone for the Grass Knot, so they took out our Poliwhirl entirely. But now that we've cleared debuffs, we can definitely take them out with the Fury Cutters and get that win. GG's. All right. We got a Purified Mud Boy here, and I am not going to take a Return to the Face. I've done that twice already, or you've seen that twice already, and it's just not going to happen a third time. I've learned my lesson, so we are playing this one safe and carefully. So we do go for the Scald, no debuff now, and since we had shielded up a Mud Bomb already, this is not a return, so we can definitely overfarm here and see what the opponent wants to do. They do shield it up, and now they do outpace us to the next mud bomb, which is totally fine because now we have soft lost this, but we can go ahead and get this farm down before they get to the next mud bomb, and we are looking good because fighting in grass coverage is very great in this meta, and they come in now with a ferrothorn. So you know the deal. We're going to go ahead and rattle off these cross chops here, doing about half of their health. We go to the next cross chop, and they give us a shield, and that was actually a CMP tie. So we're going to put all our faith in the forretress right now because they cannot do anything to us right now. And just for safe measures, we're going to go ahead and shield up this thunder here in case what they have in the back really cannot do much damage to us. We have overfarmed as much as we can before giving up another move, and we take them out, and they got a lantern in the back, so shielding up the thunder was ill-advised here. But just in case, we do go for a rock tomb before going for our next move because we do not want to take a thunderbolt and you know, get KO'd before our next move comes through. I wasn't sure if an earthquake would take them out, but we definitely know an earthquake will take them out from half health. GG's. All right, so we got spicy lead here with Starmie. We go ahead into our barbaracle, and we are shredding them alive with our buffed fury cutters. And now we do shield up the surf, and we have all this energy now for this escavalier. Luckily, that does about half their health. We're going to go ahead and throw in a good timing here and get off this next cross chop, and they're going to go for this farm down here, but they just can't get there before we get to this last cross chop, and they're going to have to shield to save their energy here. And we didn't do the tap-in method right there, so we were lucky to not get denied right there. But now we go ahead and we're going for this really aggressive farm down here, and we're going to shield up the drill run, which would have done a lot of damage. And now we have a lot of health going into this poliwrath, and they do not expect this. Boom! That does a lot of damage. They come in out with the Starmie here, and we are shredding them with these volt switches here. They go for a power gem, which doesn't take us out. I didn't want to give the poliwrath farm, so we go ahead and farm them down with the poliwhirl, and now we have this mud bomb ready to go. Boom, GG's, see you later, Dad. All right, next match. Ferrothorn in the lead, so same thing with the Credilli. Oh, they switch out though, so into a Golisopod here, and I really would have loved to have Stone Edge right now, but that's fine. They have Liquidation, so they are living in the past right now, not only with Shadow Claw, but with Liquidation. I am not worried, though. And they shield up the Grass Knot, so I guess it wouldn't matter that we had Stone Edge, but now we shield up the X-Scissor here, so yep, we're just going to go ahead for this Grass Knot right here, getting the last shield. And now we come in with the Forretress now, and the game did deny us right there, which is unfortunate because a Volt Switch of Energy is a lot because it's a 4-turn move. But they go ahead and come in now with the Gastrodon, but we're going to go ahead and bring in our own water type here. And they only go for Body Slam, which is fine with us because we're gonna send off this Scald right here. Naturally, it's not going to get a debuff, but that's fine. Yep, they do outpace us to the next move, and that's fine with us because now we can... What we're going to do here is undercharge this and get some energy before we go into the end game here. And we know this is only a Body Slam, and especially since it's debuffed, it is not threatening. But they have a Ferrothorn, and that's going to be tough for us because our Volt Switches are doing nothing. But they try to go for a catch. They go for a snipe here, forcing us to throw our last shield, which is unfortunate. They do give us farm, and we're just going to go straight for this Earthquake. Surprisingly winning CMP tie here, but it is not enough to take out the Ferrothorn, and unfortunately they're going to get this move off, and it is enough to take us out. GG's. Alright, we got Dad in the lead again, non-shadow, and so we're just going to go for this Mud Bomb right here, see what they want to do. They let it through this time, and this is not enough for a Dynamic Punch, so we're definitely going to switch out here since we do not want to take boosted counters on our Poliwhirl here. And this is only Power Punch again, so we force the opponent to clear the double attack boost now, and we're going straight for this Earthquake. Boom! See you later, Perrsurker. Get out of here, you cat. You dirty street cat. Alright. So now they have their Ferrothorn in here, and we're just going to throw this move right now to debuff them, and they shield it up, and they are gone. Let's go. GG's. Yeah, the opponent was in shambles right there. They were right to leave and not waste all of our time here. Make this a shorter video. So Here we're going to actually call the Rock Tomb. Very bold of us right there. We bank all that energy, and now we definitely need to start shielding. I don't know why I went into the barbaracle instead. I decided to play differently, but anyways, it works out because we need this energy for the Lucario, and we're able to get to another cross chop before we are farmed down. And this one does massive damage on the Lucario here. So, yep, we do the tap-in procedure right there, and that's helpful because we do get our Volt Switch through, and we can tank whatever move they throw right here. It is only the Power Up Punch, and we actually go ahead and farm them down with the Poliwhirl, getting energy now into this Cradilly, doing massive damage. And I don't know why I went for the Mud Bomb right there, even though we had the Scald. We could have gotten a debuff, but they let it through, so it doesn't matter. And now we're in this end game with the Ferrothorn here. I actually want to go for the Rock Tomb right here, just so that way their Thunders do a lot less. And they throw on interesting timing, so we get some free turns of energy there. They actually go for a Flash Cannon, so that was best case scenario right there. Now we're just going to full send Earthquake here. You could argue that, okay, they actually ended up shielding it up. You could argue that I should have gone for the Rock Tomb since I would have needed 2 moves to take them out anyways, but they actually go for a Power Whip right there. So interesting play right there, because then they full send the Flash Cannon and it does nothing. And now we can go for this Earthquake here to take them out for the win. GG's. All right. Yeah, it's kind of a very gradual matchup right there. It's kind of like 2 Mandabuzzes going at it. But anyways, we are in this matchup with a Togedemaru, and you would think the electric type has the better, the upper hand here. Well, they ended up having it with that wild charge, but we were doing double super effective damage with the mud shots and the mud bomb. So we are up a shield in this matchup, and that will be very critical because this Registeel here will be a nuisance, but they do let the Earthquake through, and now we can definitely tank a move here. So now we're going to get some farm on here because our Fury Cutters will be doing nothing to it. Go ahead and shield this up here, but we might want to go for one more Volt Switch, go to 100 energy, and now they're in range where we can Fury Cutter them down. Yes! Okay, beautiful. Now we have a lot of energy going into Togedemaru. It is likely that they don't know about the Cross Chop. Boom! And now they have a Jellicent in the back, and they probably think they're out of the woods here because we're doing resisted Fury Cutter damage, but we have that Grass Knot. Actually, they do respect it, so we're going to go ahead and take this move. And they go for the bait, we call it. And that was actually game winning right there because now we can go for this Grass Knot here, and it's going to do a lot of damage. Boom! Nearly taking them out. We've got the Earthquake ready to go. We had the Rock Tomb, but we're dotting our I's and lining our T's here, crossing our T's here. Let's go. All right, final match already. Let's go. And I recorded this one this morning, actually. And this opponent decides to go on, straight up timing here, giving us a free mud shot. They have a Jellicent now coming in, so luckily we have all this energy now. And they actually go for a shield here, so I don't know what move they were expecting, but we'll take the shield. And now we're going to go ahead and respect the Shadow Ball here. They do throw it, so really good shield right there. They're in good timing here, but they have enough energy to go for what should be a Oh, another Shadow Ball. They had a lot of energy, guys. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and throw after one Volt Switch here because I don't want to take another Surf. And that Volt Switch is enough to take them out. And then we have an Earthquake ready to go for this Gastrodon here. They let it through, and now we're going to go ahead and snipe them with this Mud Bomb. They shield it up, and they decide to throw their energy here. And we're going to put our faith in Barbaracle, taking mud shots. We do our little tap in. And now they come in with the Registeel, and this is really bad because any of their moves will destroy about 10 Barbaracles, but we get off one Cross Chop. Can we get another off? We get the catch! Let's go! We catch the Zap Cannon, so now we can overfarm as much as we possibly can here. This will do massive damage, and then we can overfarm ever so slightly before throwing this next Cross Chop here, taking out the Registeel, and then going for the Cross Chop to get the win against the ground type. Let's go! I know this is a Poliwhirl video, but man, Barbaracle went off in this video, and actually I've been climbing Elo with it, so if you've got the resources, maybe, I doubt you have a Poliwhirl, but maybe a poliwrath or something like that, definitely give this team a go. It is a lot of fun. Hope you enjoyed these battles, and if you're new here and still around, thank you so much for giving me a shot. If you're around this long, I presume that you enjoy the content, so make sure you subscribe, and you're going to see more content like this. And for all my subscribers already, thank you for showing me some love. definitely leave a like and drop a comment. It really helps get this channel out further to more people, and I like building the little family that I got going here that we call PogoBros. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.